Jesse,
Good. How are you?
can you see me?
Yep, we can see you.
Oh, thank you. Can you hear me too?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Look, there's Christine Daddy on Zoom. Is it a little chilly in here?
It is a little chilly.
Hi, Richard. Oh, Sanjeev, sorry. Where's Richard? Is he on there?
No,
Okay.
My room, but the sweet packet is stuck with me.
Christine, you're on mute.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. We'll give it one more minute and then we'll get started. Everybody's there, right? Yep. It's 7 o'clock. We're gonna get started, everyone, if that's okay. We're good, Jesse? Good. Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to the January 4th, 2022 organization meeting of the Millburn Township Committee, which is called to order. In accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Laws, 1975, be advised that notice of this meeting was made by posting on the bulletin board in Town Hall and forwarding to the officially designated newspapers that this meeting would take place at Town Hall at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, January 4th, 2022. Meeting details and the draft agenda were posted on our township website. I kindly ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance.
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I kindly ask everyone to please continue standing for the invocation, which is being presented by Rabbi Bogomilsky, High Center, Chabad, Millburn Short Hills. Thank you.
Good evening and thank you. Especially meaningful for me to be here tonight. This is our 30th year in the township since 1992. Almighty God, bless the honorable members of Millburn's Township Committee and all of us together. May their shared dedication to the betterment of our town enable them to lead us with harmony and wisdom. Grant them the courage of compassion, the power of patience, and the strength of forbearance, even when contrarily confronted. May the coming year be a year of health and a year when we can once more gather together safely for joyous celebration. Bless our children that they may grow up with a love of God and country and an appreciation for community service. May our community be one of understanding and respect so that we accord to our neighbors the love and respect that we would have them give to us. We know, Almighty God, that even in heaven there may be discord, and you have occasion to intervene between the angels for the benefit of mankind. We beseech you, therefore, that just as you make peace in your heavens, so may you bring peace between all of us. And let us say, Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you very much, Rabbi. At the 2021 general election, Tara Pufus was reelected to the Township Committee for a 3-year term expiring on December 31st, 2024. Ms. Pufus was administered her oath of office prior to our meeting this evening. Congratulations, Ms. Pufus. I will now call for a roll call vote to note those present. Ms. Miggins?
Here.
Here.
Ms. Pufus?
Here.
Ms. Thaw-Eglow?
Here.
Mr. Vinayak?
Here.
Mr. Wasserman?
Here.
Thank you. The record will show that all members of the Millburn Township Committee are present for this meeting. Is there a nomination for mayor for 2022?
Yes, I have one. I'd like to nominate Sanjeev Vinayak.
May I have a second?
I second that.
Mr. Vinayak, will you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do. Is it
Are there
okay?
any other nominations for mayor?
Yes, I'd like to make a nomination, Ms. Gaddy. I'd like to nominate Committeewoman Maggie Miggins to be mayor for 2020.
Is there a second?
Yes, I would like to second that.
Ms. Miggins, will you accept that nomination?
Yes.
I'm going to call, are there any other nominations for mayor?
Yes. I'd like to nominate Richard Wasserman for the mayorship. It's his turn, and last year it was up to him that he gave the mayorship away. And I think it's fair to give him that nomination, and I hope he accepts it. Thank you.
Is there a second? No second noted. Are there any other nominations for mayor? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to call for a roll call vote in the order received. Okay, the first I will call roll call vote to elect Mr. Vinayak as mayor for 2022. Ms. Miggins,
No.
Ms. Pufus,
No.
Ms. Thaw-Eglow,
No.
Mr. Vinayak,
Yes.
Mr. Wasserman.
Yes.
So there was not a majority, so I'm going to go on to I will now call roll call vote to elect Ms. Miggins as mayor for 2022. Ms. Miggins,
Yes.
Ms. Pufus,
Yes.
Ms. Thaw-Eglow,
Yes.
Mr. Vinayak,
No.
Mr. Wasserman.
No.
Congratulations, Mayor Miggins. I will now gladly turn the meeting over to you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
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 So now we get to call for nominations for deputy mayor.
I would like to nominate Committeewoman Eglo for deputy mayor for 2022.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
Are there any other nominations for deputy mayor for 2022?
I'd like to nominate Sanjeev Benayak to be deputy mayor.
Do we have a second?
I second that.
Any other nominations? Seeing none, roll call? Yes?
I'm going to start with Ms.
You're gonna do a roll call on the nominations.
One at a
as-
time?
Correct,
Okay.
as, in the order that they were accepted.
Wonderful. I'd like to take a roll call for the nomination for Diane Thaleglo for deputy mayor. Please. So starting with,
Ms. Prufus,
Yes.
Ms. Thal Eglo,
Yes.
Mr. Vinayak,
No.
Mr. Wasserman,
No,
Mayor Miggins.
yes,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you. Okay. We will now go on to mayoral appointments. I'd like to announce the following appointments to the 2022 Art Advisory Committee. Victoria Plummer, Donna Davis, Lorraine Barak, Oscar Peterson, Amy McGovern, Andrew Permison, Judith Kramer, Michelle Sanfilippo, Molly Isert, Kathy Hecht, Maren Less, Pamela Polifron, Gail Turner, Nikhil Bansal, and Richard Wasserman as the liaison. I'd like to announce the following appointments to the Environmental Commission. Mark Robeson, appointed to a 3-year term ending December 31st, 2024. Laura Kosick, appointed to a 3-year term ending December 31st, 2024. Roger Timpson, appointed to a 2-year term as alternate number 1, ending December 31st, 2023. Noah Packman, appointed to fill an unexpired 2-year term ending December 31st, 2022 as alternate number 2. I'd like to announce the appointment of Reed Kem as chairperson of the Environmental Commission for a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2022. I'd like to announce the following appointments to the Historic Preservation Commission. Bruce Kramer, Class C, appointed to a 2-year term as alternate number 1, term ending December 31st, 2023. And Gary Rosen, Class 3, appointed to an unexpired 2-year term as alternate number 2, term ending December 31st, 2022. I'd like to announce the following appointments to the Board of Recreation. Scott Redler, reappointed to a 5-year term ending December 31st, 2026. Nicholas Romano, reappointed to a 5-year term ending December 31st, 2026. Tara Halpern, appointed to a 5-year term ending December 31st, 2026. Josh Reeder, appointed to a 2-year term as alternate number 1, term ending December 31st, 2026. And Atul Dalmia, appointed to an unexpired 2-year term as alternate number 2, term ending December 31st, 2023. I'd like to announce the following appointments to the Planning Board. Gaston Ryan Halpert, Class 4, reappointed to a 4-year term ending December 31st, 2025. Srini Vijay, Class 4, appointed to a 2-year term as alternate number 1, term ending December 31st, 2023. David Morrow, Class 4, appointed to an unexpired 2-year term as alternate number 2, term ending December 31st, 2022. And Sujatha Shanmugashranham, Class 4, appointed to a 4-year term ending December 31st, 2025. I'd like to announce the appointment of Craig Plaitner to the Planning Board Class 2 Zoning Board of Adjustment member concurrent with his Zoning Board of Adjustment term ending December 31st, 2024. I'd like to announce the appointment of Diane Thal-Eglo and Maggie Miggins as trustees of the Coral Hartshorn Arboretum and Bird Sanctuary for a one-year term ending December 31st, 2022. I'd like to announce the appointment of Maggie Miggins as a Class 1 member designee to the Planning Board for a one-year term ending December 31st, 2022. I'd like to announce the appointment of Maggie Miggins as the member of the Board of Trustees of the Millburn Free Public Library for a one-year term ending December 31st, 2022. I'd also like to announce the designation of the following township committee members as liaisons to boards and committees, commissions for 2022 as follows. Board of Recreation, Sanjeev Vinayak. The Community Service Award, Diane Thal-Eglo. The Environmental Commission, Maggie Miggins. Shade Tree Advisory Board, Sanjeev Vinayak. I would like to announce the members of the Township Committee who will serve on the following ad hoc subcommittee. Finance, Diane Thal-Eglo and Sanjeev Vinayak. Pursuant to statute with consent of the Township Committee, as mayor, I will be the Group 1 member of the Emergency Management Council for a term corresponding with my official tenure as mayor. I'd like to announce the following appointment with consent of the Township Committee to the Millburn Free Public Library. Ruthie Binder, reappointed to a 5-year term ending December 31st, 2026. I'd like to announce the appointment with consent of the Township Committee of Maggie Miggins as liaison to the Senior Citizen Advisory Board for a 1-year term ending on December 31st, 2022. I'd like to announce the reappointment with consent of the Township Committee of Ellen Ceruto as member of the Local Assistance Board for a 1-year term ending on December 31st, 2022. I'd like to announce the reappointment with consent of the Township Committee of Jane Greenwald as a member of the Shade Tree Advisory Board for a 3-year term ending on December 31st, 2024. And I'd like to announce the following appointments with consent of the Township Committee to the 2022 Senior Citizen Advisory Board. Marianne Moore, Ellen Prache, Gail Turner, Lisa Chinovsky-Singer, Ellen Steinberg, Anthony Wolk, Robert Borsanger, Jamie Hawkins, or Town Hall Designee, Annette Romano, Anna Joan Vitalis, Suzanne Zimmer, and Trina Frankel. I move that the Township Committee give approval and consent to the mayor's appointment.
Mayor,
Yes?
I just would like to interrupt. Did you appoint anyone to the Local Assistance Board?
Annette Romano. Did I miss that? I apologize. I announced the reappointment with consent of the Township Committee of Annette Romano as member of the Local Assistance Board for a 2-year term ending on December 31st, 2023. Thank you for catching that. So I move that the Township Committee give approval and consent to the mayor's appointment. Page
I
5.
can second that.
Great. Thank you. Voice vote, please.
Voice vote is fine. Yes.
Voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
I move that Diane Thal-Eglo and Sanjeev Vinayak be appointed as members of the Board of Education Township Committee, Board of Recreation Commission Fields Committee for a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2022.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move that the following people be appointed as members of the 2022 Community Service Award Committee. Jessica Nudell, Daniel Cannon, Laura Janae, Elaine Becker as chair, Jane Chan, Ying Gu, Jennifer Rosenblatt, and Jackie Benjamin Lieberberg.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I move that the following appointment be made for the Board of Health, Janet Lintor, MD, as a regular member for a 3-year term ending December 31st, 2024.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move that the following appointment be made for the Board of Health. Regina Truitt as alternate number 2 for a 2-year term ending December 31st, 2023.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I move that the following people be appointed as 2022 Board of Education liaisons. Richard Wasserman and Sanjeev Vinayak.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I move that Richard Coppleton be reappointed as municipal prosecutor for year 2022.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
I move that Robert Borod be appointed as municipal public defender for the year 2022.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I move that Joseph Steinberg be reappointed to the Zoning Board of Adjustment for a 4-year term ending December 31st, 2025.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I move that Amy Lawrence be appointed to the Zoning Board of Adjustment for a 4-year term ending December 31st, 2025.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye. I move that Chandru Harjani be appointed to the Zoning Board of Adjustment as alternate one to an unexpired term for a 2-year term ending December 31st, 2022.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I move that Marilee Riesback be appointed to the Zoning Board of Adjustment as alternate number 2 to an unexpired term for a 2-year term ending December 31st, 2022.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. I move that Diane Thal-Eglo be appointed as a Class 3 member of the Planning Board for a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2022.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I move that the following members be appointed to the Dispatch Joint Meeting for 2022. Sanjeev Vinayak, Township Committee Liaison, Alex McDonald, Township Administrator, and Brian Gilfetter, Police Chief.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I move that the following people be appointed as members of 2022 Parking Ad Hoc Committee. Tara Pripus, Diane Thal-Eglo, Alex McDonald, Township Administrator, Donna Ruggiero, Tax Collector, Sergeant Peter Smeraldo, Police Department Rep, Parking Enforcement Officer.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I move that the following people be appointed as members of the Pedestrian Safety Advisory Board. Brian Sobelman, resident, appointed to a 3-year term ending on December 31st, 2024. Jeremy Sokop, resident, appointed to an unexpired 3-year term ending on December 31st, 2022. Diane Thal-Eglo, Township Committee Member. Christine Burton, Superintendent of Schools or Designee. Mara Epstein, Parent Teacher Organization Council Safety Committee Designee. Christine Bugle, Assistant Engineer or Designee. Brian Gilfetter, Police Chief or Designee. Alex McDonald, Township Administrator or Designee.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I move that Matt Larissy be reappointed Treasurer for a term of 1 year ending December 31st, 2022.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. I move that Alex McDonald be appointed as Millburn Public Agency Compliance Officer for a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2022.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I move that the following members of the clergy be appointed and designated as chaplains to the Police Department for the year 2022. Reverend Christian Byrne, St. Rose of Lima Church, Rabbi Matthew Gerwitz, Congregation B'nai Jeshurun, Rabbi Ari Eisenberg of Congregation B'nai Israel, Reverend Christopher Diebold of Covenant Presbyterian Church.
Second.
I move that the following members of the
Wait,
clergy.
all those in
Oh,
favor?
Sorry.
All those in favor?
Sorry.
Aye.
Aye. I move that the following members of the clergy be appointed as chaplains to the Fire Department for the year 2022. Reverend M. Kristen Biernay of St. Rose of Lima Church.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
I move that Robert Hingle be appointed as representative to the Essex County Transportation Advisory Board and the Lackawanna Coalition for 1-year term ending December 31st, 2022.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I move that the following members be appointed to the Millburn Short Hills Business Organization, Inc. District Management Corporation Board of Trustees. Ashley Schultz, owner, trustee, appointed to a 3-year term ending on December 31st, 2024. Tracy Katz-Levine, resident trustee, appointed to a 3-year term ending December 31st, 2024. Richard Wasserman, Township Committee Member, reappointed to a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2022. Jackie Benjamin Lieberberg, Mayor's Designee, appointed to a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2022 as a non-voting ex officio member. Alex McDonald, Business Administrator, appointed to a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2022 as a non-voting ex officio member.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there a
Is that you?
Oh,
Yeah.
we have not chosen that.
Yeah.
Do I say it or do you? I move that Tara Prupus be appointed as a representative to the joint meeting of Essex and Union County.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote.
Aye.
Roll call vote.
Oh, sorry.
It's a roll call vote.
Ms. Prupus,
Yes.
Ms. Stahl Eglo,
Yes.
Mr. Vinayak,
Yes.
Mr. Wasserman,
Yes.
Mayor Miggins.
Yes.
Thank you.
If we go on to consent agenda items.
Yes.
So are there any comments or questions from a member of the committee in regards to a consent agenda resolution?
Before approving the temporary budget,
Yes.
I would like to have some kind of presentation on it, so I'm not comfortable saying yes to it. If you all are, then sure. But I've not seen anything yet on this.
I'm comfortable.
You're
approving
comfortable?
the temporary budget. Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Or if there's not consent on that particular item, you should just pull the resolution off to vote separately.
Yeah, you can move to pull the resolution off the consent agenda, vote on the full consent agenda, and then vote on that pulled resolution separately.
So the budget is 22-001. And you're asking, Mr. Vinayak, that you wish to have that pulled because you haven't had an opportunity to look at the budget?
That's right. I'm going to say no to it. So
Well, Mr. McDonald, is it possible that if we pull that the finance committee can take a look at it before it comes to,
We will not have money to operate.
oh, if you don't pass it? Okay,
That's why it's done at the reorg meeting. It's 26.25% of the township's previous budget. And that's allocated throughout the line items in the way that we see that needs to be done as a result of past purchasing and past contracts
That's normal procedure.
every year.
Okay,
Correct.
okay.
Okay, so do we vote on whether or not we're pulling
You
it?
would make a motion.
Are you?
Are you making a motion, Mr. Vinayak?
yeah, I'm going to say no to this one. So if everything else is being
Okay.
voted yes, then they can go separately.
So I want to make a motion.
You want to make a motion to pull out,
And then we'll vote.
to vote separately, 22-001, you want to make that as a motion to pull that out separately to vote?
Sure.
Okay,
I make a motion to pull 22-001 out of the consent agenda item, please.
is there a second?
Actually, my advice here would be to move resolutions 2 through whatever the
That's
end
what
is
I
on the
thought,
consent
too.
agenda, and then have a roll call vote separately on resolution 22-001.
Sounds great. So resolutions 22-002 through 22-041.
Second.
I have a second.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, so roll call vote to pass that.
Go ahead, Christine.
Thank you. Ms. Prupus,
Yes.
Ms. Stahl Eglo,
Yes.
Mr. Vinayak,
Yes.
Mr. Wasserman,
Yes.
Mayor Miggins.
Yes.
Thank you.
So now we're going to take resolution number 22-001 and vote on that separately.
Yes, somebody could move that resolution now, if you would like.
Okay, so would someone like to please move resolution number 22-001? Adopting the temporary budget.
So moved.
And I'll second that.
There we go.
Ms. Prupus,
Yes.
Ms. Stahl Eglo,
Yes.
Mr. Vinayak,
No.
Mr. Wasserman,
Yes.
Mayor Miggins.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, we're now at public
Public
comment.
comment.
We are at public comment, ladies and gentlemen. When invited to speak, please come to the lectern, clearly state your name and address, and speak loudly so that your comments may be understood by all and properly recorded. There's also a remote option available for this meeting, so if you called in and would like to comment, please press *6 now. If
If you are attending by computer or electronic device, please click Raise Hand button. All members of the public wishing to speak will be put into the queue to address the committee. Whenever an audience or committee member reads verbatim from a prepared statement, please email a copy of that to the Township Clerk's office at townclerk@millburntwp.org. To help facilitate an orderly meeting and to permit all to be heard, speakers are asked to limit their comments to 1 3-minute session. You will be prompted when there is 30 seconds remaining. This is a business meeting, and please do not address professionals or staff directly, and please do direct all comments to me. Each individual will be given 1 opportunity to make their public comment. Please be patient, and we will address each member of the public that wishes to speak. I will now open the public comment period.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Jean Pasternak, 342 Hobart Avenue. Congratulations to the mayor and deputy mayor and all the appointees. Once again, a new year begins. We were not allowed to comment prior to action on the consent agenda items. I would like to understand from you, Mayor, in taking this new position, why we don't have the right to be heard on agenda action items as members of the public, as taxpayers, and as residents of Millburn Township. In light of the briefs that were filed on the Bacone South lawsuit, I believe that there is reason for us to think that decisions are being made behind closed doors, and we are being given no meaningful opportunity to debate, participate, and discuss the decisions on the table that greatly affect our lives. It would be most appreciated to understand your point of view on this. I'd like to also comment about volunteers for committee assignments. I've attended every meeting in the last 1.5 years of the Township Committee, the public meetings. We were asked directly to please volunteer. I sent in a volunteer form as requested. I heard nothing back whatsoever. My understanding is that there would be a pre-screening interview type feedback or comment back. I'd like to understand, do applicants get the courtesy of an email acknowledgement that applied? What is the usual steps that were taken and were they taken in terms of finding volunteers for committees? Did you committee, was that a criterion? The next comment I'd like to talk about are the litigation. After the last year, we had settlements with the Enclave, Wells Fargo, and ongoing litigation, some of which is driven by unhappy and rightly so residents. Just read those briefs in defense of the Bacone illegal restaurant appeal, and I think it says a lot. There were illegal acts committed right in front of the elected body. The employees and council did nothing to stop what happened there, and now we're paying. The people who spoke here, they spoke truth to power. They drove this issue out into the light of day. I'm puzzled as to why we're voting to retain the same legal counsel again this year in light of, in particular, the $2 million that was paid to this firm without prior approval by elected officials. Why is this firm still being paid, and why are they still engaged? Next point, are taxpayers going to, in fact, have a tax increase this year, contrary to what Mr. Viniak and candidate, now re-elected TC member Prupus pledged and promised taxes would not increase? Are we going to be paying for our trash and recycling? This is a comment that's circulating in the community, and we'd like to know the truth about that, if you wouldn't mind telling us this evening. And finally, citizens should be aware they have the right to monitor legal proceedings in Superior Court in cases versus Millburn Township. We're funding this litigation, and we should make use of our right to observe. There's a hearing tomorrow at 2 p.m. in front of Judge Posimano regarding Feld versus Millburn Township. One of the issues involved is that Mr. Feld is seeking a declaratory judgment about our right to speak prior to consideration and official action. This is huge for our community in light of how business has been conducted over the past year and how this impacts the decisions of this body in 2021. The judges chamber.
Thank you, Ms. Pasternak. Happy New Year, and we'll get you those answers at the end. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is Dave Cosgrove, 99 Oakview. I wanted to just say congratulations, Mayor Miggins. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Bill Kirsch, 93 Cedar Street.
Good evening, Mr. Kirsch.
Good evening. I also wanted to congratulate Mayor Miggins, Deputy Mayor Thal-Eglow, and Committeewoman Prupus on taking their positions. And I also wanted to say that although the voting was divided for mayor and deputy mayor, I want to emphasize again, as I did at the last meeting, that I hope all of you work together with respect for each other as individuals and to set a good example for the residents in these stressful times. And please keep that in mind, and I think you can have a very successful year. I think most of the residents trust your decisions and trust the experience you have gained and the information you have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirsch. Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Hi, Dana Truitt, 385 Hartshorn. I also want to congratulate Mayor Miggins on her appointment as mayor. I tuned in late, so congratulations on that. And thank you for my appointment to the Board of Health, and congratulations to everyone else who was appointed. And also, lastly, congratulations to former Mayor Prupus on her reelection, and Happy New Year. Thanks.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Dominique, you're muted.
Hello, good evening. I just would like to have one thing to say. I wish to request a proclamation be awarded to a gentleman who believed in me and others in this town, a man who encouraged us to continue fighting for what's right no matter what, a man who not only educated but changed the township to follow the rule of law, all because we all deserve more. Our resident and attorney, Jeffrey Feld, to be recognized for all the money saved to the township and all his knowledge, efforts, and time volunteering spent towards unfolding all the wrongdoings of this township. Thank you and good night. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Urso. Happy New Year.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Perry Urso, 514 Millburn Avenue in Short Hills. Well, Happy New Year and congratulations to our mayor and deputy mayor and all the appointees. I've been an advocate for over a year for the reinstatement of the Millburn local cable channel. I would like to thank then Mayor Prupus for the acknowledging my concerns and efforts regarding the discontinued use of the local cable channel and clearly recognize that there has been a lack of transparency. The local access channel affords the community public governmental education. Mayor Prupus from last year suggested that a committee of volunteers. Ask yourselves, does that really work? It's not that we don't have many very talented and smart residents and volunteers. However, it also could be easily put blame on the volunteers if it fails and easily be discontinued again. I've also discussed options with possibilities with Dr. Myron at the Millburn High School to bring this task to our Millburn High School seniors media team. We also discussed what a great source for an internship program. Wouldn't it be wise to leave this task up to professionals? Jessica was trained by a professional at the HTTV. That knowledge can be valuable and easily transferred to a much more productive approach. Just ask yourselves, was the programming broken in the first place? Were there any prior administrative attempts to fix the problem? Was there any discussion or renegotiations to make the programming better, more informative, and less expensive to Millburn? The answer is a hard no. This township just cut them off without any explanation. As much as I would like to volunteer, my plate is a bit full. But after 1 year of my efforts, tonight I offer a solution to your problem. I am delivering a proposal, which I will email later with my statement, which I requested and received from HTTV on behalf of the township in the amount of $20,000. I am not privy of previous contracts, but rather only a bill list line item paid to HDTV in the range of $30,000 to $35,000. Surely, ask Mr. McDonald or even Committee Woman, now Deputy Mayor Woman Eglow, in my opinion, because they are well aware of this situation. Request that Mr. McDonald explains what the township was getting for the money before the channel went dark. Do like most business owners, have the discussion as to what would be most beneficial and advantageous to the town. Do research what other towns are airing of interest and importance to their viewers that Millburn has not. I did not need a SID to assist me with this task, simply volunteering my time. Sadly, this committee does not find that I offer any value to this community. I would suggest leave broadcasting to the professionals. And if you desire not to rehire HTTV, which the door has always been open, then you should start the proper bidding process. But wouldn't it make sense to support a small business of a Millburn family that's been here for generations? Kind of like our professionals, you just can't sever your ties. And why? Thank you. Have a nice evening and happy and healthy New Year.
Thank you, Ms. Urso. Happy New Year to you as well.
Hi there, this is Lizzie Miggins, 34 South Terrace, Short Hills, New Jersey. Just wanted to dial in and congratulate Mayor Miggins.
Thank you, Lizzie Miggins. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Anyone else for public comments that are in the room? Thank you.
I just want to take a moment to congratulate you, Mayor Miggins, and Vice Mayor, Deputy Mayor Diane Eglow. It's very nice. And I really appreciated the rabbi's words at the beginning of today's meeting. I thought they were exceptionally appropriate. And I really look forward to a good 2022 without discord, harmonious year. Congratulations to all of you and to everyone else who was nominated today.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Do we have any other public comments? Oh, yes.
Good evening. This is David Boyko, 30 Farmstead Road, Short Hills. I just wish to offer a happy new year and a congratulations to Mayor Miggins, Deputy Mayor Eglow, and to the other township committee members. Thank you for volunteering to take on this task for the benefit of the township. And I wish you all the success in the year to come. Thank you for your time and efforts.
Thank you, Mr. Boyko. Happy New Year. I'd like to recognize, this looks to be Pat Siebold, who is one of our elected officials and commissioners for the County of Essex.
Can you hear me? I unmuted myself.
We can hear you, Commissioner.
Okay, it's Commissioner Pat Siebold, and I want to congratulate Maggie Miggins on being sworn in as the mayor, and also Diane Eglow as the deputy mayor. Just as a point of interest, I've known Maggie for so long. I knew her before she even got involved in politics, and I am really thrilled that she got involved. She has so much to offer, and I am really so pleased that she is now the mayor of Millburn. Frankly, I'm really excited that she is now the mayor. So I wish you well, Maggie, and I also wish Diane the very best. And thank you all, and let's have a better 2022 from what we've had this past year. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Happy New Year. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay to speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Judy Rosenthal, 97 Main Street. First of all, congratulations, everyone. I really hope that this is a much more peaceful year. I wasn't going to say anything until I heard that Pat Siebold was on the line. And as you know, she is what used to be called the freeholder. I guess now they're referred to as committee people. Ms. Siebold has consistently voted to undertake any and all expansion of the Turtleback Zoo for the past, I guess, 5 years or so that I've been monitoring this. And I would like to ask the committee to please stay in touch with Ms. Siebold to try and persuade her, particularly in light of the severe flooding that Millburn is now subject to carefully consider how, for example, the expansion of the Asian exhibit, which is apparently is now underway, is going to impact Millburn, and how each square foot of surface within the reservation that becomes impermeable due to Mr. DiVincenzo's ever expanding plans, all of which are voted on by Ms. Siebold in favor of, how this is going to impact Millburn, and please work closely with her in an effort to convince her to be more sensitive to the environmental impact and its downstream effect on Millburn. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year, Judy.
Thank you.
Is that it? Jess? One more.
Can I speak?
You may.
Allie Seeger, 10 Robert Drive. I just want to say a big congratulations to Mayor Miggins. Our town is very lucky to have her. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you, Allie. Is that it? I'd like to recognize Assemblyman McKeon, who's come into our meeting. Thank you so much, John, for stopping. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you to come on over and visit us in Millburn. Finish with, everyone's finished? I'd like to close public comments. Okay. Would any of our professionals or committee members like to address any of the comments that they heard this evening? Mr. Vinayak?
No.
Mr. Wasserman?
Yes, I want to make two comments. One comment is for Ms. Urso, who I think she really has a good point in terms of the cable TV. And the only thing I kind of disagree with her on is that the bid, Explore Millburn, actually has a lot of content that they promote for the township in terms of our businesses, our activities, our things that we're doing. So one of the suggestions I'd like to make is to Ms. Urso, and I know it's a little awkward because of this ongoing, I guess ongoing maybe litigation, but one of my offers would be I'd be very happy to meet with her with Explore Millburn to see whether there's some type of arrangement that could be made to give content to a channel like that. I think that's a very good, that's just an idea of mine. The other thing that I'd like to also offer in response to one of the questions is I do think that it's time to move public comment to the top of the meeting. I know tonight was kind of we had a lot of ground to cover, but I think it's a point well taken that public comment should be in the top of the meeting, and that people should be able to come to the meeting, not have to wait hours and hours to make a comment, and to express themselves before action is taken. And I just think it's time to do that.
Thank you, Mr. Rossman. Ms. Prupus, any comments?
I do. I just want to, so all the other boards and commissions and committees have meeting dates listed on the website. They have agendas, they have minutes, and they have, a lot of them have public comment, not all of them, but to your point. So my request is by our next meeting, the Flood Mitigation Advisory Board has a meeting schedule, have minutes posted, have agendas, and that there's meetings with public comment so people can come speak to the Flood Mitigation Advisory Board. So I'd like to see that happen by our next meeting, have that all set up and ready to go.
Okay.
I do want to mention that there is a public, Alex, we've announced a public session for all public stakeholders for flood mitigation as of for next Wednesday. And all are invited to address the committee, and there'll be a full update in terms of what the flood mitigation committee is working on.
When is that? What date is that meeting?
Alex, it's what?
And did that go out to the community? Because I didn't see anything.
It was announced at the last meeting. It will be put up on Facebook and
So that's a Zoom meeting, and
yeah.
is there an agenda? What's the format of the meeting?
There will be an agenda. There's not one established at this point, but there will be an update of what the flood advisory committee has been working on and what the next steps are going to be.
And there'll be public comment, so people.
There'll be full public comment.
Great, and then there'll be like a meeting schedule provided for the year?
For the year, I mean, I think there will, yeah, that sure.
I mean, there's a set meeting, like say the first and
We've
second
been
Thursday
meeting-
of the month
Yeah,
or
we've
something
been
like
meeting-
that?
We've been pretty much meeting, weekly.
Every Wednesday.
We've been meeting every Wednesday, and a lot of the work was kind of reviewing the local infrastructure. There was a tour for the committee. A lot of it was just kind of getting up to speed. But now that we're up to speed, I think that you're right that the agendas can be posted. I think that the professionals could give weekly, if not bi-weekly, updates. And,
Right, some minutes so people can go and review
yeah,
and see
so
the work that's been
I
done.
do. I
Great.
also want to say that some of the work, some of the work and some of the discussion is sensitive in terms of real estate, in terms of things that we're gonna discuss in private session.
Okay, terrific, great. Thank you so much.
Just a quick thing. I want to first congratulate now Committeewoman Prupus on being sworn in earlier tonight. Congratulations to Mayor Miggins.
Thank you.
I just want to say that I believe you're a good listener, you're well organized, thoughtful decision maker, and you are in a good position to lead the committee for 2022.
Thank you.
I look forward to a good year with all of us working together.
Amen. Thank you so much.
I have one other thing before
Yes,
we go
ma'am.
into closed session. Brad, can you, or Mr. Carney, sorry, can you, can you tell people what we're going into closed session to speak of generally? Can you
Well,
give any,
Actually, the resolution to go into closed session should say that it's for the purpose of pending litigation regarding the affordable housing litigation that involves the Annie Says property as well as Woodmont.
okay, so there's, all right, so you're,
It's already listed. It's listed on the resolution 22.
all right, but just in case that, that people don't
Yeah.
have it right in front of them.
Right, no. So what I'm saying is when you make the resolution, you should state the reason why you're going into closed session.
Oh,
Yes.
you mean when you're gonna read it?
Right.
Okay, great.
Which I'll do in 1 minute. I just want to respond to a couple of the people that spoke this evening.
Yeah, great.
Mrs. Pasternak, thank you so much. We did have we had over 60 applications for volunteer positions. So if you weren't chosen for a board, please, by all means, make sure you put your resume in again next year and someone will circle back with you. I think that's something that Ms. Gaddy does for us after we've had our first meeting. And as we always have at our first meeting, we have our consent agenda items and we do vote on them. I had already instructed Ms. Gaddy that moving forward, our public comments will move to the beginning of the meeting rather than at the end of the meeting. So I have already instructed her to make sure that happens.
If I may also just make a point on that.
Yes.
There is a resolution that the committee adopted last year
Yes.
that sets forth the interim rules of procedure and order of business. And in Article 4 of that is the order of business. So I would recommend that we have
We
a
change that.
resolution that would amend that resolution.
Sure. Yes, let's do that,
Okay.
because I think that is important that the public gets to speak first.
So does that mean that we're just gonna have one public comment period
I
at the
think-
top of the meeting?
I do. I believe one public comment, we put out everything. If there's something on a consent agenda item, a few people went over today. It was, we let them. But I think we'll do it at the beginning of the meeting so that people can ask about the consent agenda items or anything else that's important to them. Yes, so I'd like that to change, please.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, so. Okay. Mr. McDonald, do you have anything you'd like to add? No, ma'am. So now I am going to, the Township Committee will now enter closed session as per Resolution 22040, and we will adjourn immediately following closed session. Brad, do you want me to read this?
Yes, please, Mayor. Yep.
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting under certain circumstances. And whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances do exist. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township Committee of the Township of Millburn and the County of Essex, State of New Jersey as follows. The public shall be excluded from discussion of and action upon the hereinafter specified subject matters. The general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is as follows. Pending litigation, attorney-client privilege briefing on pending litigation involving the declaratory judgment action, Fair Share Housing Center, Woodmont Properties, and Annie Says Property. The minutes of the discussion shall be made public as soon as the matters under discussion are no longer of a confidential or sensitive nature. Yes, so we can.
No, you have a motion, a second, and a roll call vote.
May I have motion? May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Prupus,
Yes.
Ms. Dahl Eglo,
Yes.
Mr. Vinayak,
Yes.
Mr. Wasserman,
Yes.
Mayor Miggins.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh,